The Galactic Federation had long since abandoned Earth, labeling it a lost cause. Humanity, they said, was too primitive, too divided, and too self-destructive to ever join the stars. But the Federation had made one critical mistake. They underestimated the resilience of a species born from the crucible of survival. On the edge of the Orion Arm, where the stars burned faint and the void stretched endlessly, a lone ship drifted. It was a sleek, predatory vessel, its hull scarred from countless battles. Inside, the alien huntress, Zara'Keth, leaned over her console, her 4 eyes narrowing as she studied the holographic display. The image of a planet flickered before her, a blue-green orb teeming with life. Earth. Zara'Keth was a legend among the Galactic Federation's elite. A hunter of unparalleled skill, she had tracked and slain the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy. From the acid-blooded Zenther to the shadow-stalking void wraiths, her trophies were the stuff of nightmares. But now she sought a different kind of prey. Humanity, she murmured, her voice a low, melodic growl. A species that should have perished long ago. Yet they persist. Why? Her ship's AI, a cold and calculating entity known as VIX, responded. Historical records indicate that humans possess an unusual capacity for adaptation and cooperation under duress. However, their technological advancement remains stunted compared to Federation standards. Zara'Keth's lips curled into a fanged smile. Adaptation. Cooperation. No, Vix. There is something more. Something primal. I must see it for myself. The Huntress descended to Earth under the cover of night, her ship cloaked from the primitive sensors of the humans. She landed in a remote region, a place where the wilderness still reigned supreme. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth, and the distant howl of a wolf sent a shiver of excitement down her spine. She stepped out of her ship, her form hidden beneath an adaptive camouflage suit that mimicked her surroundings. Her weapons, a plasma bow and a monomolecular blade, hung at her side. She moved silently through the forest, her senses attuned to every rustle of leaves and snap of twigs. It didn't take long for her to find what she was looking for. A man stood in a clearing, his back to her. He was tall and broad-shouldered, his body clad in simple, rugged clothing. In his hands he held a bow, its design archaic yet elegant. Zara'Keth's eyes widened as she watched him draw the bowstring back, his movements fluid and precise. With a soft twang, the arrow flew, striking a distant target with unerring accuracy. The huntress stepped forward, her camouflage flickering as she revealed herself. The man turned, his eyes narrowing as he saw her. He didn't panic or flee. Instead, he calmly nocked another arrow, his gaze steady. "You're not from around here," he said, his voice deep and calm. Zara'Keth tilted her head, studying him. "You are not afraid." The man shrugged. "I've faced worse than you." Her smile widened. "Have you now? And what is your name, human?" "Ethan," he replied. "Ethan Graves." "Ethan Graves," she repeated, savoring the name. "I am Zara'Keth, the Alien Huntress. I have come to test your kind, to see if the legends of your resilience are true." Ethan lowered his bow slightly, his expression unreadable. "And if they are, then I will declare you worthy," she said. "And perhaps your species will earn a place among the stars once more." The challenge was simple, a hunt. Ethan would be the prey, and Zara'Keth the hunter. But there was a twist. If Ethan could survive until dawn, he would prove humanity's worth. If not, well, the galaxy would never know what it had lost. The forest became their battleground. Zara'Keth moved like a shadow, her advanced technology giving her every advantage. She could see in the dark, track his scent, and move with inhuman speed. But Ethan was no ordinary man. He had spent his life in the wild, honing his skills against nature itself. He knew the land, its secrets, and its dangers. The first encounter came swiftly. Zara'Keth cornered him in a narrow ravine, her plasma bow humming with energy. But Ethan was ready. He had set a trap, a simple snare made of vines and branches. As she stepped forward, the trap sprung, tangling her legs and sending her crashing to the ground. Ethan vanished into the shadows before she could recover. The huntress growled in frustration. "Clever," she admitted, freeing herself. "But not clever enough." The night wore on, each encounter more intense than the last. Ethan used every trick at his disposal, fire, water, even the wildlife, to slow her down. At one point, he led her into a bear's den, using the enraged animal as a distraction. Zara'Keth was forced to kill the beast, but by the time she did, Ethan was long gone. As the first light of dawn approached, Zara'Keth finally cornered him on a rocky outcrop. Ethan stood at the edge, a steep drop behind him. He was battered and bruised, but his eyes still burned with defiance. "You fought well, human," Zara'Keth said, raising her bow. "But it ends here." Ethan smiled, a tired but genuine expression. "You still don't get it, do you?" "Get what?" she demanded. "We're not just survivors," he said. "We're hunters too." Before she could react, Ethan leaped off the outcrop, disappearing into the mist below. Zara'Keth rushed to the edge, her eyes scanning the terrain. But he was gone. As the sun rose, Zara'Keth stood in the clearing where they had first met. Her ship hovered nearby, its engines humming softly. She had failed to catch her prey, but she felt no anger. Instead, she felt admiration. "Vix," she said, her voice filled with awe. "Prepare a message for the Galactic Federation." "Proceed," the AI replied. "A hunter that's strong should never die out," she declared. "Humanity has proven its worth. They are not just survivors, they are warriors, hunters, and dreamers. They belong among the stars." As her ship ascended into the sky, Zara'Keth cast one last glance at the planet below. Somewhere down there, Ethan Graves was watching, his spirit unbroken. And she knew, without a doubt, that humanity's story was far from over. Epilogue. Years later, the Galactic Federation received a transmission from Earth. It was a simple message, accompanied by a video of a man standing in a forest, a bow in his hands. "We are ready," the message said. "And we are coming." The man in the video was Ethan Graves, his eyes filled with determination. Behind him, a new generation of hunters stood, their faces alight with hope and ambition. The galaxy would never be the same.